Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the S-Team podcast. I'm Jack Millington, and joining me this week, as usual, as ever, it's the man known as Michael Scotsman Keating.
Good day.
Good day. If you noticed, it's quiet.
Yeah, we don't have an idiot blooming in there. we don't have that.
We don't have
cheerful child.
That jumped up 6-year-old. Oh, he's not here. The reason was I don't know. I think it's probably forgotten what day it is.
No.
And if
he's got too much of a social life for us now.
Is he going out this evening? Is that what you said?
He's going out this evening.
So he's preparing himself to go out.
Yeah.
So when he says preparing, he means playing on Assassin's Creed, which is what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be there. Thanks, Matt.
But it's nice to return to some originality.
Oh, fucking great!
It's nice to be back. Before we start, two things. The first one, and because it's only you this week, it makes guessing this song a lot easier.
I think it's this. Not only
does it make it easier, it makes it harder because it's better for me now because rather than having two of you guess what year it is, there's only one of you. So it's like, well, I don't have to try and judge what the other one's, try and put the other one off. But I'm going to play it. It's a song well known, as usual, and I'm going to just wait for it to play.
Holy shit.
Yes.
God starlight and bright, and we're praying it's not too late.
I'm not going to play anymore because
this is
my favourite song by Robbie Williams is Millennium, and I've played it there. And I'm going to let Mikey guess what the year is.
I think it's a noughties one, this one.
You think it's a noughties one, yeah?
Yeah.
I know the year. I didn't actually know what the year was. I was a year out when I guessed. I heard it.
It's what's convenient, you always seem to guess a year out.
I'm always a year or two out. I'm always a year or two out.
That's when we've got Morris here.
Yeah.
Because he just goes,
gauge it.
I think it's this one. Like, there's me, I think for tactic, I think, okay, we did. You know, probably say 98.
You're going to go, you sure with 98? It's a song called Millennium. Just going to state that.
99 then.
You locked in at 99?
Yeah.
It's 98. When I said a couple of minutes ago when I went, and I can always throw the other one off, I've thrown you off.
Oh no. No.
You said it as well, and there was part of me that just went, I might be able to throw him off here, but I've got to do it quick.
Oh no.
It's like you had. It's like Indiana Jones. You've got the golden. Oh no, a ball! Except this time it's rolled over you.
No, it's like that. Do you know that video with the Battlefront player, and he's got
Oh yeah, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he's like, and the guy's just like, you can imagine him going, I fucking love you up there.
For anyone else who's wondering what the second thing was before we start, obviously the F1 qualifying is today. Obviously it washed out yesterday from the Hurricane Patricia, am I right in saying? Is it Patricia? I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Patricia, yeah.
And I know a lot of people wondering, it's the first time I've ever seen it washed out on a Saturday and had to go on Sunday. No, it's happened many times, just people forget. And I'm going to say something really interesting now. See if you notice a pattern from the last 3 times it's happened. In Japan 2004, while my Kindle decides it doesn't know what it's doing. Guess on the Saturday qualifying washed out. Schumacher took the pole on the Sunday on a drying track. Japan 2010. Let's put it this way: it was washed out on the Saturday, started on the Sunday, won by Vettel on a drying track. And Australia 2013.
Yes.
Rain on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Won by Kimi Räikkönen on a drying track. So
2013. That was Magnuson, wasn't it? No.
No,
Oh,
it's V8's back there. But that is bad news for anyone who's hoping for rain, because I looked at the weather forecast today for the for qualifying. It is supposed to be wet, which actually starts in half an hour, and the race is supposed to be dry. After all that, I was kind of hoping we'd have a wet race, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, but what about Mexico?
Mexico, they're saying are fine. They said they dealt with it perfectly. They prepared for it. It was the Americans who hadn't.
As always.
Sat there just like, wish.
We'll throw a burger at it. Oh shit. It's coming back.
Don't say that, it'll turn around. Just the storms goes, you what?
You what not? I think that's the lucky thing about the UK. We don't get earthquakes, we don't get tornadoes.
And what did Al Murray once say? Don't shit on your own doorstep.
Exactly. Because we know God's British. And do you know why I know that?
Go
Like
on.
the old saying goes, you never shit on your own doorstep.
Exactly. And
So
speaking of Britain,
it's just proof God is British.
yeah,
Yeah.
proof there. Speaking of Britain,
Oh god.
we've, as you know, there are companies out there that don't pay minimum wage, and it's pretty terrible, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you.
No, I'm not, because I do get paid the correct way.
Yeah, you do. I'm not saying where you work for. Somewhere in the trade of motoring services. But I didn't say. But apparently the governments have listed a name and shame list of companies that have failed to pay the national minimum wage. Would you like to know the top 5?
Yeah.
Cornwall Glass and Glazing Limited. They owe £14,254 to 9 people. Number 4, Carl Keith Salons, probably in Essex, £20,535 to 5 workers. So they're owed £5,000 each. I'm right in saying my maths. No, it's probably £4,000. Project Security UK Limited, £23,857 to 18 workers.
18.
It's about £1,500 missed out for all those.
1,800 quid each.
Number 2, for something that sounds as mythical as the animals of Farthing Wood, we've got Tyne and Weir, Riding for the Disabled Association. They owe £27,152 to 6 workers, which I'm right in saying is just under £5,000. But at number 1, by a country mile, Monsoon Accessorise. You've seen Monsoon?
Huh?
If I show you the logo, I'm pretty sure you'll recognise it.
Oh,
You recognise Monsoon. They do accessories and stuff like that. That's why it's called accessories, like bracelets and
girl stuff
like that.
Okay. Yeah,
They owe
generally why.
a grand total. Just let me get the calculator out. Just give us a moment. I'm going to work this out. If my phone... Oh, my phone's awake! They own... a grand total of...
Are you working this out for each person?
I'm going to work this out for each person first.
And then I've got to try and guess.
No, don't try and guess.
Oh, okay.
Don't guess. Right, they owe a grand total of £104,508 to 1,438 workers.
Are you shitting me?
No?
That's 750 quid.
No.
104,000 to how many workers, sorry? 4 figures.
1,438.
1,500 quid.
It's actually not that much, apparently. My calculation here works out at 72.
72
quid, apparently.
Nah, that's not right there.
It is, because I've done my calculation right. But what it means is that it might not sound like a lot, 72 quid, but they owe that for 1,438 people, which is, you know, a lot of bloody money.
A lot of work.
104,000. I can't imagine everyone's owed that much, but, you know, would you be annoyed if your company had failed to pay you £72?
Fucking yeah.
Yeah. You know what I
Let's
mean?
put it this way, I'll be straight to the fucking manager.
You'd be killing them.
Oh, I'll do more than fucking kill them. Can you imagine that in court? What was it all over Mr. Keating? £72.50, Your Honour.
We find his manufacturing working place guilty.
We also
what do you think, Judge? I wouldn't be even working if I wasn't getting that £72. Good on you, Keats, lad.
It's like Dodgeball, he goes, thank you, Chuck Norris. He goes, no, thank you, Peter.
Another news story from the UK this week is from Talk. Now everyone might have. Everyone knows about Talk being hacked, and you know BBC has rather nicely done an article saying why does this keep happening, and they've gone into big detail about how it's done, and it says here, average companies use 75 separate cyber defence systems to police their networks on average. So it's about right, actually, when I think about it.
No, you're talking blabberies to me right now.
I'm gonna explain it.
It's simple to.
I'm gonna explain it.
Okay.
Right. So you're wondering how did Talk get hacked? Well, they got.
Well, someone pressed a button. I went into another page, pressed a few more buttons.
Bit more complicated than that. But if you want to think of it like that, go ahead.
That's pretty much how I think about it. Someone got lucky, pressed a few buttons, pressed a few more buttons, and went, "Ooh, I'll open that program." Go into that. Thank you very much.
They got attacked from a DDoS assault on the company databases that they have. Now, if you're wondering what DDoS is, I'm not going to explain it to you, but the abbreviation of it is Distributed Denial of Service.
Isn't like a major hit, like a lot? Isn't it like a lot of people use it or something like that? Or?
It's like it basically stops people from using the service, practically. I mean, that's on a very, very basic form of it. If I explained more about it...
How funny would it be if Matty was on Talk?
He's on something worse. He's on Sky.
Yeah, goes to score on FIFA. Or goes to win his first WRC race against you.
Yeah. Do you know, on Talk's been hit 3 times now. A lot of people have been saying, well, why does this keep happening? And, you know, for those that aren't, let's say, technologically savvy, such as, like, older people who don't really use computers.
Or me.
Or people who can't even get out of the bath anymore, in which case it's pretty much game over for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jamie Oliver, you might have heard, has been attacked a lot. His website's been battered the last few months.
It's Jamie Oliver. That's... You went around like, oh, look, because of the government, I've got this sugar thing on it. Well,
hasn't he done another sugar tax? Hasn't he just lobbied for a sugar tax? That's probably why, Jamie. Stop being nice. Just say, reinventing the turkey twister. You put in the same ingredient and said, no, I thought I'd go for a loaf. Your website is being turned into dust. But if
you go onto the website, just fire everywhere. Do you remember that thing? Like, you used to get like this program, and you could like spawn like ants or like a flamethrower and stuff. In school. Well, basically, we used like some of the lads used to have this tool like on the things, so you could like you'd open it up, and you could burn your screen out, and you could put like ants and do all this random stuff.
Yeah.
And once we put the screen on, right, and one of the lads literally just did it. So obviously it was just pitch black. And he's like, no, miss me work's gone, me work's just all disappeared and everything. And I was like near the end of GCSE as well. I knew what was going on, but I was like, oh mate, I'm sorry for you. He's like, oh no, this is not happening. So she literally goes out, phones IT, and as she phones IT, we're all like that, like getting rid of us, like it's closing them. But it was when they started like Photoshop and everything that you're doing. But one of the lads had found a way of getting around it. Like he'd managed to freeze his own screen to do it, to then go back into it. It's like, I don't know how the hell he managed it. But like they come down and like, there's nothing wrong with it. It was black before. I just rebooted it. You know what I mean?
So were the people who climbed out of the coal mines in the 1800s. They were black and they came out clean. You know what I mean?
And like, it's just, oh, if I can find out the name of the thing, I'll give you a shout.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
But for people who want to know why they're getting hacked, it's quite simple. People want data for money.
It's money.
It's money. Why do you think Sony was hacked? 2 reasons. One, at the time of the PlayStation, this was years ago, this was before the PS4, when Sony got hacked and they were like, oh, well, they want all the data. They don't just want the data. They want, preferably, they want contact details more than money, to be honest with you, because money's a lot harder to try and get out, because if it gets traced, you're done for. But they want data, so they can then sell that data onto third-party companies, which is why every now and again you'll be sat at home and then it'll go ding, 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 ding. And this is a conversation I had 2 weeks ago. Hello, would you like to purchase some telephone communication devices? No. But that is basically one of the reasons. You know,
I had one trying to sell me these solar energy the other day. It's funny.
Yeah.
It was in the old house. And
by the way,
so yeah,
people,
I picked up.
Before Mikey says anything, last few weeks have been hectic for us.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, the podcast was cancelled because it was motorsport weekend, and
You weren't well.
no, that was last week. I lost my voice, and then that proceeded to turn into the worst case of man flu ever known to man. Let's be fair though, people. Whoever gets man flu then has to say it's the worst case of man flu anyone's ever had. So whoever's got man flu this week is worse than me.
The amount of things you said wrong, and I picked you up and went, I've got the flu, haven't I?
What the flu? I'm allowed.
When it's a man, you think, alright, fair enough. If it's a woman's laugh.
Shut up. Stop whinging. Stop. The hell? You got flu, have you?
Oh, my
Can you walk? Yeah. Can you move stuff? Yeah.
Can you cook?
I was leading up to that.
Yeah, that's what you fucking wrote, was it?
But I'm gonna move it on. I'm gonna talk about. Now, I don't usually talk about, animals facing threats and stuff like that. I mean, unless it's about snakes and tarantulas being endangered.
Well,
I don't
Johnny
really
the polar bear. Yeah.
Johnny the polar bear's you. Johnny the polar bear's you. But I want to talk about Sully the Snow Leopard. And
they're quite cool snow leopards, you know.
No, I love snow leopards. They are probably the second most beautiful thing in the world, after red pandas. But I love red pandas. Everyone knows that. But you like meerkats. But
no, but meerkats are cool. They're so.
I don't understand the appeal to meerkats, and I don't think I ever will. But apparently, this is according to global warming experts, but they have a point, and it's not global warming. Warmer temperatures are threatening to shrink the habitat of the snow leopard, and they're saying that more than a third of the animal's mountain living areas could become uninhabitable because of climate change. Now, for a kick-off, climate change is absolute bollocks, but I'm right in saying that they're being hunted now more than ever, which kind of makes a point. Why doesn't WWF just combat people who hunt them rather than moan about the weather and the...
Because they can't be asked. It means they've got to spend money instead of paying their big executives stupid money to sit in a bastard office to do fuck all the time. To then annoy us for 5 minutes. Oh, £5 a month. Wait there.
To be fair, if it's a snow leopard.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But when you say, oh, £5 a month could do this. Wait there. Let's just put it this way. £3 of that straight away, it probably goes to someone's wages. And out of everyone that obviously donates.
I imagine a portion of it, of the five,
a big portion of it.
I wouldn't say
£1's going to go to something like the person itself doing that job.
Yeah.
In obviously looking after it. And then 50p of that's going to go to food, and the other 50p is going to go to something else. So you think about it, only 50p of that fiver will probably go to that snow leopard. You're paying some come £5.50. Because they'll probably throw VAT on that. No, £6.
But the thing is though, like...
I just don't agree with the whole... adopt your own snow leopard. You don't go to fucking Chester
would
Zoo.
do
Go. That's my fucking lion, are you?
No,
Let
'cause
me
that's
in the
not really
cage.
adopting it. That's not really how the adopting process. You don't just walk up to a kid and go, "You're mine with me. Come work in my mines." You know what I mean? It doesn't really work like that, Mike. Mike's way of the world. Mike was Prime Minister would be the most catastrophic thing ever to have happened since the Berlin Wall fell down.
Do you know what's funny? Like, everyone else would be walking into the House of Commons and Suicide walking in with me Liverpool.
You know, Liverpool showing your blue tracksuit bottoms, just like.
And I did.
I
mean Lonsdale, yeah. And I kids. Right today.
Well, in seriously though, like snow leopards are being increasingly poached for their body parts.
Isn't it like it's like
it's not fair. You don't know where they're from, do you?
Snow leopards?
Yeah.
Siberia?
Yeah, but where? You can't just say you can't just say Siberia and then go, yeah, they're there.
No. What? Who's poaching them or?
No, it doesn't matter.
Like where?
They're already
It's like
Siberia,
Russia,
but they're mainly
Siberia.
in Mongolia.
Yeah,
Really.
that's something like that
like,
sort of area.
They're basically being killed for their fur, which is such a shame because they are like the most beautiful things ever out there. And if you know, I would normally join Mikey on the I wouldn't give money to a snow leopard sort of thing, but I would because it's a snow leopard, and after 6 months you get a cuddly toy.
You're only in it for the cuddly toy, aren't you?
And the snow leopard. I don't give a toss about all the surrounding information that comes. Yeah, as long as the snow leopard gets fed and I get a cuddly toy, done.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd fly over to fucking Siberia myself and pick one up. Do you imagine that walking through Heathrow Airport with that? Mr. Keating, have you got insurance for your... It's a snow dog, mate. Don't worry about it. Move along now. Come on.
I'm gonna move it on. I'm gonna move it on, and
oh god,
we're gonna go to the conquest that is the return of weird American news.
Oh, our favourite time of the year.
So it's you remember Iggy Azalea, don't you? You remember? Yeah, that's how everyone now reacts. Most people react to it. Oh, for God's sake! Well, she's come back apparently. If anyone has been living in a cave for the last 6 months or forgotten who Iggy Azalea was, basically she was a woman who had one song that was particularly listenable. I could listen to it. I didn't like it, but I could understand. And then everything else was appalling. It's like she thought she was black. She was Australian, but didn't rap with an Australian accent. She rapped like a black woman, although to be fair, that's an insult to black people because she can't rap like a black woman. And
yeah, white women count.
And yet,
better
than her.
Yeah, I know that. My mum could rap better than her.
And then also she had probably the most amount of injections into thighs I've ever seen in my life. You know, make him, well, they'd say desirable. I'd say look like a clown falling over.
What, like a thighs?
In a paint factory.
Who? What? No,
she had injections into her thighs to make him like more desirable. So massive, basically. Make him. It's basically it's basically American language. Now she's just.
I don't know what is wrong with the Americans.
It's not America.
No, I know she's Australian, but because she's been in America, it fucks with your head. it really does.
So are you still going to America?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
We'll break them.
We're Americans, yeah. We're the S team. Fuck you, bitches.
I just want to talk about it because she's been featured on a song by Demi Lovato, who's equally just as crap.
But at least
on a song,
you can understand what
at least you can understand what she said. Now she's got Iggy Azalea is featured on this track and she's got a rap verse, and I'm just gonna say the verse. Gather around, now I'm back from my holiday. Long live the Queen, what the people say. For the kick-off. Shut up. the worst thing about this is I haven't heard it, but I'm just I don't even want to listen to it, but I've...
Is it one of them I'm going to be the
like
music expert into this
It's
later?
just the rhyming of it. It's just She goes, and that be me, I got a king in my cavalry. No.
No.
Them other knights say goodnight, they get apathy. No. And then she says, what? And to be fair, the author of this article just said, she's like, he says, basically her heavily fake accented vocals is like shooting from half court, trying to link cavalry and apathy and coming up about an acre short of the target. I was just like, how do, you know, children are easily influenced, right? We all know this. A child is easily influenced.
Speaking of news,
imagine getting influenced by that and then turning out to be a virtual copycat of her.
Look at One Direction.
No, do you know what?
No, in Belfast the other day,
do you know
one of them wasn't well. Didn't tell them till like a minute before they were on stage. Yeah, Dave Grohl, right, in Norway was it? I think.
Played with no arm.
No, broke his leg.
Played with no arm.
No, it was his leg.
He was the drummer who played with. He lost his arm and he was freaking played with one arm.
No,
can't remember his name.
He lost his arm in a car accident in Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And yeah, he still was he learned how to play with the one hand.
Yeah.
But he had to do it like that, and it's really fucking good.
The thing is though,
but,
I know you mentioned him with One Direction, and
no, but they turned around with 5 minutes to go, No, like not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes when they were supposed to come on stage. It's oh, by the way, the show's been cancelled. Yeah, one of them's not well.
Literally saying.
Yeah, but it was.
No, they didn't. Literally
but Dave Grohl, right, sitting there, the fellas put the cast on, like yeah.
Let's be fair. Anyone who's a pop singer is very, really hard. You can imagine. Think of an artist who does pop music. Robbie Williams. You can imagine battering him. He'd put up a good scrap, though, to be fair to him. Has anyone seen Let Me Entertain You for the video? The most mental thing I've ever seen.
That was actually a good video.
Exactly.
See, those were the days when you were actually creative.
But if you look at pop artists in general, they're not hard. You could batter them with a freaking...
Justin Bieber could give them a
them with a freaking Mawam stick.
And if they had a knife and I had a mouse, I could probably still batter them with it.
But,
and then eat the Mawam stick after it.
Yeah, we're going to move it on to some more weird American news.
Oh, lovely.
Now, funnily enough, we're back in Oregon, which is surprisingly cropping up a bit more now. An alleged knife-wielding burglar in Oregon learned this lesson the hard way when he did something he probably shouldn't have done. Basically what he did was he was, I don't know what possessed him to do this, but he took all his clothes off and then got into bed with the two people that lived in the house and started nuzzling the back of one's neck. Little did he realise that the people that lived there had a gun in the bedside table right next to them. Apparently the burglar known as Defudis, the irony of that name, quickly put on his pants and fled the scene. Police said the man that was now very awake with his gun fired 3 shots but missed on all attempts. Somebody call a stormtrooper. A short time later, authorities caught up with Defudis at a vacant home where he was hiding. He is being held on a $310,000 bail in a jail, basically. He's facing charges of first and second degree burglary, first degree sex abuse, and unlawful use of a weapon. What I don't get is what made him go, I'm going to take my clothes off.
A weapon?
A knife. I did say at the start, sorry, a knife-wielding burglar.
Oh, I didn't.
You weren't listening.
What's some interesting news for you? Oh shit, another thing.
But literally, like, what makes someone go?
I guess America. Mill, we've done this podcast long enough to know we can't explain why these people.
We know it's America, but we now have to find out how this happens. Is it something in the water?
Do you know, we're gonna have to go to America to research this properly. We're gonna have to spend we're gonna have to send our foreign correspondent, Matty Morris. Matty, what are you doing? Just sitting here.
Just a quick interruption of Weird American News. Qualifying is on in the next 5 minutes. That's not live on the Beeb, so I'm watching it.
I was going to watch it last night.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
No, I was going to watch it because I'd seen it on the BBC. I was like, I might watch this. And because I had Dan and Sam around as well, a bit of socialisation.
Now, American police, as you know, have their moments of dumb. But they also have moments of ingenious. And this, to me, is sort of dumb, but it's brilliant at the same time. Now, apparently, a high priority delivery went wrong in New Jersey, and it was supposed to be received by someone, and it's a £50 worth of marijuana package, as in the weight pounds, not in value.
Yeah, because it would be fuck all if it was.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, the residence where it got delivered to was unexpected at the delivery and didn't know something was coming today. While he was probably baked off his tits. But so what they did was they called the police, told them it was here.
Yeah.
And what they've done is on Facebook.
Yeah.
They said and they put on Facebook. They said a picture of the pot, and it says, "If you're expecting these packages and would like to claim them, please come to police headquarters to retrieve them." Mm-hmm. There's part of me think that's dumb, but at the same time, it's like maybe they're starting to cotton on to the fact that Americans are slightly dumb at times, especially criminals. Maybe
like, I meet him here for lot number 35.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Some little guy that's in a frame. You're under arrest, son.
Apparently, the loot itself could actually be worth $100,000. And apparently, whoever packaged them definitely took quite a bit of time and energy to mask anything that was detectable. So, someone's getting shot for mispackaging, etc.
So what do you call that, Mel? Mispick.
God's sake! I wasn't expecting that. I was like, what? Now.
We've got any UK news?
We have not.
I have.
Because we're sensible.
I have.
Can I do my last American news? Then?
Well, actually, to be fair, it has to do with an American, so yeah, go on.
Well, I'll do this last one first I've got.
Okay.
Now, a coffee house in America is being forced to change its name, and the owner has stated, "I don't see why I should. I can call my shop anything I like." Now...
Oh, God.
Even though it is in a... I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry, people. I've just realised that this isn't actually an American story. This is a British story. But it's a funny British story.
Oh, God. It's even worse.
No. Would you like to know what the name of the coffee shop's called?
What?
For Coffee.
That's quite cool. Oh my... That's a what?
As in... it's spelled, people, FUCKOFFEE. For Coffee. It's literally what it's called.
What's that? The Tempest?
It's where did you read that one?
The first paragraph.
Oh, it's a tempest in a coffee pot in South London. But
we've got to go there.
It's like apparently they've now. A lot of people were annoyed anyway, like, why it's getting all this, why the authorities are stating all this, saying. So the coffee followers have actually created a petition that reads in part, "There is a small indie coffee shop in Bermondsey called For Coffee. They have had a few anally retentive and gormless people complain about their name, and now they have their money-grabbing corporate landlord demand they take the sign down as it is deemed to be offensive. We, the undersigned, confirm we have a sense of humour and find a continued attack on our beloved For Coffee an insult to freedom of expression, freedom of speech and humour." To be fair, I can understand why people get upset about it. Like, I do understand that.
But it's a generation where you've just got to grow up and get on with it.
They
go to Curry's and go, "Oh, you shouldn't be called that because."
Do you know what he'll do?
Because it's named after a food.
Do you know what he'll do to change it? He'll just remove the K. For Coffee. It'd be exactly the same just without the K. What's wrong with that? I'd do that.
I wouldn't. I'd keep it so.
Well, until your coffee shop's closed down and you're sat there crying your eyes out with just coffee granules spilling around you.
No, but if you think of it this way, you just say, well, here you go, you want to do that, lower me rent.
Yeah.
What's the landlord going to do? You can't turn around and tell you to do one, can he?
I know. So you said you had a piece of news before we go on to gaming news, which we've got 2 reviews for. You the lucky lot this week.
Well, one, a bit of happy news from New Zealand, funny enough.
So it's to do with England, but it's to do with America, but it's in New Zealand.
There's two different stories, right?
There's 2 different stories. So I'm going to eat I'm going to eat a joystick.
Yeah,
right?
which one would you like to hear? New Zealand or...
You decide which one to pick while I eat a joystick.
Do you know what? We'll go away. We will try our New Zealand cousins.
Our New Zealand
As
cousins.
you know, the drifting. I know you're not massive on it. Yeah, alright with it, you know what I mean? Mad Mike Windit. Ever heard the name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's expecting his second child in the next few weeks. And his son is apparently really good. Like, for some reason, you've got like this ATV thing. From what I've heard anyway, in New Zealand, it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of them. I was thinking, how cool would it be if they did it over here?
What, an ATV?
Like racing. Like proper full on racing.
You do quad bike racing over
here? No, I just seen the thing the other day saying, that'd be actually quite cool if we did that in the UK.
We're doing quad bike racing over here.
Okay, never mind. Just erase that bit out.
Yeah.
Mr. Block.
Yeah.
Born early Ken Block.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for the ladies and gentlemen that don't know, the man behind the Jim Carner videos, DC Shoes, you know,
Monster,
all of them. Lately he's brought, obviously a few months ago, at Goodwood he had the Unicorn, which is his all-wheel drive Mustang.
Yeah.
And lately he's done a 1978 Ford Escort RS Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
Which I must say does look quite cool. But that's not what I want to talk about. Yesterday was the Jim Carner grid.
Yeah.
At Centre Pod.
Yeah.
Ken Block crashed his Unicorn on the first corner.
How did he manage that?
Don't know. There's a video. Obviously, he's at starting and he goes. Obviously, he pulls the. You can see him pull the handbrake. If the car, the back end goes,
Mm-hmm.
but it only goes to the side. She's misjudged it. I doubt he's misjudged it though.
Oh, you can do.
No, fair enough, but it's a bit of a surprise. Do you know what I mean? It was something that caught me off.
You're saying it's a surprise that someone's crashed?
No, not that. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Do you know what I mean? You know when you don't expect it, like for him to crash like that on the first corner though. So, but when I have news, I'll obviously.
Marcus Gronholm did that in a rallying once in France. He went off at exactly the first corner, braked, turned in, went straight into a hedge. That's the only other time I can remember someone crashing at the first corner through their own will. You alright there, Mike?
Yeah.
You want me to do some more news?
Yeah. I'm not really good at this whole announcing shit, to be honest. I'm more after just the comical effect.
See, people, this is sort of why Mikey hasn't done a podcast for
45
a long time. It is actually our 60th podcast today, funnily enough.
That's great, isn't it? It should really be our 64.
It should be a lot more than that, but we've had a lot of stuff happening, mainly on my end.
No, same as me though.
Same with you.
Decorating.
He's moved out. He's moved out, so
finally.
Decorated.
Finally. And Matty Morris is
technically the only person who's actually been consistently available. The downside is if you asked him to do a podcast, he would draw a cock and then submit it online.
Or turn up with cushions.
Or turn up pissed.
I was hoping he would do that today, right? But, you know.
Now, obviously, people...
He's also the sweatiest person
on any sort of racing game known to man.
on Monopoly.
That's true.
With me and you, when we're all like tactical and stuff, Matty just goes 700.
Yeah.
It's worth like 50 quid.
Yeah.
It's worth 50 quid.
Yeah, so true.
You get the full set, mate. It's 200 quid for the full set.
I'm going to talk about this week as a big week for gaming, because obviously the release on Tuesday of Halo. Baby, I can see your halo. Baby, I'm a saving grace. Shut up.
I'll be getting that Friday. So
there's a very strong part of me that would like to buy it just for that, but it's the only part of me that cares.
It's when I'll be getting my Xbox One.
You'll be getting an
Probably
Xbox One.
Friday night.
Which basically makes you and Matty multi-console twats. They are not my words. People who own 2 consoles, well done. You've achieved something in life now. Piss off and get a job.
I've got a job now.
Not blaming you two. There are people that I know who have both consoles who haven't got a job.
I know, Bill. That's called bacon at me.
Nope, it's called all over the place. But this week in particular, obviously Halo is being launched on the Tuesday, and also this week is Paris Games Week, which is
this
big.
Week.
It's this week, and the big reason why it's important is because Sony are there having their official conference now. You might remember back to Gamescom, PlayStation wasn't there and it was Xbox only, and their reason was that's just too close to E3, and I was like, that's understandable, let's wait till October. Now, Sony being the smart little devils they are, had to do it like that, because they are.
Yeah.
So what day does Halo come out? Tuesday.
Yeah.
What day do you think Sony have gone, we'll do our press conference?
Tuesday.
You're fucking
That's going to be a new thing, by the way. When something magical and mysterious and coincidental happens, we go, ooh. But I'm going to talk about the announcements that PS4 could make at Paris Games this week. Anyone who's wondering about Mass Effect, stay tuned to N7 Day, and if you don't know what N7 Day is, I can describe it to you in simple terms. Look at the calendar, see the month that begins with N, and if you go, yeah, see one, then look up a date and a number, and it goes, is it 7? Yeah, you got 7, and you put the 2 together, and if you come up with November the 14th, fuck off.
What have you that fucking done the 21st? Just fucking do.
But yeah, on the 7th, I am expecting something to be announced about Mass Effect. We all sort of are now. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. Last year, they announced Mass Effect 4 on N7 Day, so logic would be maybe a trailer.
Yes.
Maybe a trailer. Maybe an introduction to the main character.
Maybe gameplay.
I doubt it, because it's hardly freaking done yet.
But a bit.
I'm expecting Need for Speed to be here this week. Quick tidbit about Need for Speed. It's gone gold on consoles, so no more developments apart from the DLCs, obviously, which are going to be free. But
fuck off, EA giving something away.
I know, I said that.
Holy shit, guys! Like, I might have to write a letter of thanks to EA.
Don't say that. They'll charge you for sending an email. Extra DLC.
Yeah.
But
£75 for a response. It's alright, mate. I don't want a fucking response.
Now, Quantic Dream is a gaming company out there. They made Beyond Two Souls with Willem Dafoe and Alan Page, and they're making another game according to the. And rumours are saying that it's called Singularity, and they're saying that it could make an appearance at correction. They're saying it could make an appearance at Paris Games Week. Also, Uncharted 4, that's going to be showing. Definitely, that's already been confirmed. The beta begins on the 4th of December, so any lucky Uncharted Nathan Drake collection owners out there, including myself, get to play that. So on the week of the 4th, people, I'll give you a quick update about Uncharted 4, what I think of it so far. The makers from Little Big Planet, obviously, they've got a game coming out called Dreams. They're going to be there. Rumours saying that Spyro's going to make an appearance in the game. They're also saying Crash Bandicoot is going to be there too. But
when I see it, I'll believe it.
We'll see it when we believe it, because that article that was there that got published then got deleted rather swiftly. So we'll soon find out.
By Sony?
No, by an independent company that I do rely on for my sources, and they usually are 95% of the time correct. We'll soon find out. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's going to be popping up. Rime, Alienation, Shadow of the Beast. Obviously, No Man's Sky, the big rumours floating around about that. Some people are saying it might even get released during Paris Games Week, no one knows. The virtual reality headset, everyone knows about that. PlayStation VR, used to be called Morpheus, got changed to VR. They're saying that it's going to come 2016. Obviously, third-party games, Destiny, Star Wars, stuff like that, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which...
bullshit.
Although we're not convinced by it, a lot of people have been massively impressed by it. I'm not going to lie, during the beta I did enjoy it.
Cool as shit.
And then there's Mikey over there, who longs for the days of many other things. There's still other stuff to be announced for Street Fighter V. One of the games that I'm sort of looking forward to is Far Cry Primal. For those that don't know what Far Cry Primal is, it's basically a game Far Cry set, but like at the dawn of Earth civilization. You've got to sort of hunt for creatures and stuff. There's not much revealed about it, but it looks epic.
The whole point in Far Cry.
That's why they called it Far Cry Primal.
No.
Just go to bed. Hitman is going to be showing up there at some
Yes!
point. Also, at the Japan thing last week they did, Everybody's Golf was announced. Anyone remember Everybody's Golf? Do you remember that? Years and years ago? No?
Golf?
Everybody's Golf was a sort of... How can I put it? It was sort of like a arcadey style golf game that was really fun to play. And I loved it as a kid. And that's returning. Whether it'll pop up in Europe, we don't know. Some firmware stuff. But the big thing that some people have started stating, and this is one of those ooh moments, is they're talking about Gran Turismo 7. Now, half of which people have been saying it makes perfect. It won't show up. It just doesn't seem logical because, let's be fair, we don't know sod all about Gran Turismo 7. Except that it's supposed to be getting released next year. But people are saying, well, if Sony are clever about it, why didn't they announce it? And this is my logic behind this. Gran Turismo 7, as we know, people, is the biggest racing game series out there. As much as Mikey would like to deny that, it's a fact that it's true.
No.
Back in the day, you probably would have denied it.
Yes, back in the day.
And then he came home, and he returned to PlayStation, and he understood that the world was good.
Do you know what? In my time of being a PlayStation owner, you don't half realise how much the people that play it aren't as fucking annoying as the people on an Xbox.
Isn't it fun? You don't get rage messages when they get beat.
Like, if you beat them by one goal, like the last minute,
you don't hear nothing.
You don't hear this. Oh my god! You little dickhead!
No, you hear this. Oh my fucking god!
Yeah.
But literally,
you
like,
still hell for fuck's sake.
You do.
Well, you
That's natural. But like,
or when you're racing, you have a laugh with you, like the other night when this idiot too hard. I forgot, he was on game chat and said, "Hey, look at this, guys." Get to the DS3 WRC car.
That was you that who said that, people.
That's why I said, this dickhead.
Yeah, this dickhead, that's it.
And then all you heard was,
oh.
I was like, I can let you guess my facial expression and what I said
myself. You went from the game chat from 0 to 100 real quick. But literally, coming back to Gran Turismo 7, it makes perfect sense for them to announce it, because imagine if they went, Gran Turismo 7 releasing next year. Now, what month is it, Mike? October. How much are we looking forward to racing games next year? we like racing games, we want more. Assetto Corsa, Project Cars getting updated, which will be sometime this week. Imagine
for you, Drive Club.
For Drive Club, yeah.
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
Getting that next week.
Imagine if it gets announced that at the Paris Games Week and everyone sits there and goes, Gran Turismo 7's coming, and all the people who love Gran Turismo, and there are a bloody lot of them, imagine all them going, we were just about to get Forza, but you know, Christmas is coming up and there's a PlayStation, and this is how brilliantly it works in. PlayStation 4 has just announced a 1 terabyte hard drive and the price has been dropped. Why don't we get PlayStation 4 and then wait for Gran Turismo to get BAM! Sony back in the game, and everyone in Xbox like, what do we do?
As a kid, it's like that.
Do you know how?
Do you know the video with like the lowered car?
Yeah.
Like the kids screaming.
Do you know
gets over one hump.
Do you know how genius that is though? Imagine if they sat there and went, that's coming out. And don't forget, the Uncharted 4 beta's coming out just before Christmas to keep you interested.
And get this, Sony have punched Microsoft in the face with their newest advertisement.
I don't know what the new advert is.
Obviously, every PlayStation one you get the new.
I love that.
Yeah, at the end it says, the UK's best.
Yeah, really that.
I was like, yes! It's like, I'm sitting there watching it, right, and over the other side of the room, right, where was I? I think, no, I was in,
the Xbox Owners Club.
No, where was I? Oh, that's right, I was in, where was I? I was in the Curry Hut.
Yeah.
Right, I knew straight away, just looking at some of the faces, like, no, he was in the pizza shop, yeah.
Wherever you were.
I looked across the room, and like there was like 4 lads, and you could tell they owned Xboxes.
Yeah,
and it was
FIFA.
me just like, yeah, it's a proper console, lads.
No, I'd still rather own an Xbox over a PC, like, to be honest with you.
No, they were all Xbox owners.
Yeah, but it's sort of like, if they do that, and they go, oh well, don't forget we got all the sales. They're going to update us obviously on the sales to the console this year because Microsoft haven't said anything. It's sort of like, if they announce Gran Turismo 7, it could turn into the biggest one-sided battle of consoles since the PS2 annihilated everyone. And you know, if they're just saying the PS4's getting a 1 terabyte price drop, and I can't see what Xbox can do now to come back. As much as I'd like to see a bit of competition.
Personally, they can't come back with the online things because the online's actually worse than Sony's
Because
online
if you look at it, like, what exclusives do they have left? Halo.
Legends or FIFA. That is it.
No.
Legends.
I mean like games. There's Halo.
Forza, Halo.
Someone said this on a YouTube comment the other day. Went PS4 Legends, and this was on the Outside Xbox channel. By the way, if you're a PlayStation fan, go check out the Xbox channel because they're quite fun to watch. They actually did a crossover video, the two of them. It was really funny, but they did it. They went, I'm an Xbox fan, but even I've got to admit, and this is what it said, Xbox icons, and they went Halo, Forza 6, and they went PlayStation. Off the page.
Yeah, it's like that, you know, the old style scrolls is like.
Do you know what would kill off Microsoft completely this generation?
No Halo.
No. Do you know what would kill them off if PlayStation had said 2 words? Crash Bandicoot. Done.
Or Spyro.
Spyro's sort of Nintendo. It's tricky. And Sony don't own the rights to Crash. It's Activision who've got it. So
but Activision and Thing, you're good friends.
Come on, Sony, get them out of the way. Come on, buy Activision. Come on, buy them. Get them out of the way. But we've got 2 reviews to do, people. 2.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking. My brain's not working.
I'm wondering which one to start off with first. Let's go with
start
WRC.
Yeah.
Let's go with WRC 5. Now
I like it.
Just let me start.
I can win.
Actually, before we start a review for WRC5, let me just do one last thing, which I forgot to mention. It's to do with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which I was going to mention. Now, I'm not doing a review for it this week, people, because I only got the game on Friday. But you will have a review of it next Sunday with a young squire known as the Demented Child. But there were 4 editions of the... yeah, that's the word I was looking for. There are 4 different editions of the Assassin's Creed Syndicate game. Obviously, there's the standard one. There's the Rooks edition, which costs £50. Yeah, 50 quid. And oh no, sorry, it costs 60 quid, right? And it offers a second extra mission, an art book, soundtrack, double-sided London map, and an exclusive collector's box. And then you go up to the Charing Cross edition, which is the one that I've got, and I didn't pay this much, but this is the one. It says you get the Runaway Train mission, an art book, soundtrack, map, plus its own exclusive box, and a 26cm figurine of Jacob, which I've got up there, and that costs 75, although I didn't pay 75 for mine was cheaper. And then there's the Big Ben edition, and this includes ready? Cheering myself up for this. The Runaway Train mission, art book, soundtrack, map, another special box, and an even more extravagant version of the Jacob figurine standing against a set of clock machinery. It also comes with a premium hip flask with Assassin's Creed branding on it, an exclusive numbered lithograph, and the season pass, all costing £115. Now, I'm going to state this here. Let's work out how much each of those editions cost. The Rooks edition says here 60 quid, right? It offers a second mission, Runaway Train. How much do you reckon a mission could cost to make? In perspective of a game. It would cost a lot to make, obviously, but in perspective of a game,
£5.
A £5, that's a £5. The game, 55. An art book,
It's a £5 because you've got to print
60.
out first.
Soundtrack, usually a
Probably a
tenner,
tenner because you've
70.
got to... Yeah.
Double-sided London map, which it's like the way that mine is.
Yeah.
It's not actually made on paper,
It's proper cardboard.
so that would be a £5.
Yeah.
And the exclusive collector's box.
That's probably about a tenner.
No, the box is like the case that goes around it.
Like a steelbook.
Like a steelbook, but
Oh,
it's not.
Probably a £5.
But it's not steelbook.
Yeah, like 7 quid, I'd say.
Okay, so 80 quid. So that's what, a 20 quid, 20 quid saving.
Yeah.
If you look at Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the Charing Cross edition, now this costs 75, which is the one that I've got. The game, 50 quid. The Runaway Train mission, as we said, 55. The art book, another £5. Soundtrack, tenner, 70. Map, £5, 75.
Figurine.
Its own exclusive box,
tenner.
that's 85. The figurine of Jacob,
15 quid.
100. Save myself 25 quid. Then there's the Big Ben edition. Now, let's go through it again. 50. Runaway Train, 55. Art book, 60. Soundtrack, 70. Map, 75. Another special box, 85. Figurine, which is a bit better, so it's 105. And you also have the hip flask.
There's 20 quid.
How much do you normally pay for a hip flask?
About 50.
Tenner.
Depending really what if it is.
I'd say
yeah,
tenner.
let's have a look at it.
It's just a hip flask. It's literally just a hip flask. That's all it is.
Oh,
It's tenner.
tenner.
Yeah, so that's at what, 105?
Yeah.
110? 110, yeah.
No, 115.
115, okay.
Yeah.
And then exclusive number lithographs,
It's a £5.
that's 120. And it includes the DLC season pass,
So the season
That's
pass could be
20
about
quid.
30 quid.
20 quid, yeah. So that's 140.
Mm.
You're saving 25 to 30 quid on each edition.
But people say it's too expensive.
And people say, no, it is a bit too expensive to be
No,
fair.
but it's right.
The Big
because
Ben
what you
edition
get-
is too expensive, but this is the point that I make to people. If you're ever planning on buying a special edition of any game, always go for the second highest. Never go for the big one unless you're...
COD.
No, don't go for the first... No, it's like, don't go for the top edition of Just Cause 3, because it's basically you get an island with it. That's a true story. There's only one available in the world. Literally, if you buy Just Cause 3, the Ultimate Edition, for those that have the money or live in, let's say, the Arabian Sea, you can buy that game with your own island in real life. So the S-Team HQ will be moving soon. Tune in next week at a slightly earlier time of 3 o'clock in the morning. But in all seriousness though, I say this to people, buy the second highest edition because quite simply it's usually the best for money. You save even more money on the Charing Cross edition than you do on the Big Ben. And I also think it's worth it. It looks brilliant, and admittedly, you know, I was surprised at the size of the box. But it's that well made that you might as well just keep it, which is what I'm going to do. It'll get put in a bag and then put in the loft, and it will be there for a long time. But it won't be removed because it's that good. There's also a hair on it. But take my advice, like I just said, buy the second highest. Always buy the second highest edition because it's just usually the better one. Now, reviews. We're going to start with WRC 5, a game that's been for the first time made by a new company called Killerton Games. Never even had a racing division before they actually purposely created Killerton Racing just for this game. And you're probably wondering what do you think of it? What does the S-Team think of WRC 5?
What did
let me take you back on a journey back through the official WRC world. Back in the PS2 days, on the 6th gen consoles, it was made by Evolution Studios, which are still, without a doubt, the best games rallying has probably ever seen, apart from Richard Burns Rally, which is the greatest simulation rally game ever made. But they had the license and then they decided to go off and do something different for a few years. This is where Milestone, who came in to do the 7th gen consoles, that's PS3 and 360, they made a game that was alright. It wasn't nothing special, but it was alright to play. You know, it was fun online. Its online was good, I'll give it that. And it had a few other different things in there. Each game sort of tried something different. The first one had legend cars in it, Group B cars. The third one had escorts and all sorts of stuff in it as well. But they didn't really develop them properly, and it was basically games that had loads of good ideas that weren't properly implemented. Now we've come to WRC 5, again made by a group of people who've never made a racing game before. They hired ex-staff from Simbin who made some cracking simulation games back in the day, and here we are, 2015. WRC 5 games come out, official for this year. They've even got their own esports little competition going on. That starts next January, which will be fun. But I'm going to go to my colleague over here, the man who hasn't owned a WRC game before. Same with Matty as well. He's also bought the game. What are your impressions, Mike? And make sure you talk for long enough while I eat this joystick.
It throws you straight into the world of rally.
Yeah.
Which I reckon is really good. I'll be honest with you, I've missed the progression system I used to have in FIFA. You'd start off at the second team, and you'd work way up on your pro.
Yeah, they sort of had it in the original WRC game, yeah.
Yeah.
And the original
WRC.
WRC.
How they've got it in this one. You start off in junior WRC.
In the JWRC, yeah.
And you'd think, that's great. Because it doesn't throw people... People have got to work for the better cars, you know, over time, and I think that's just amazing. To be honest with you, just being able to go, okay, work hard and you can get that.
Yeah.
Work hard and you can get that. Whereas FIFA, it's like, yeah, you now play for Liverpool Football Club. There you go.
But it's sort of like here.
But like, it's just like, even if it's in the bad car, the DS3s. It's so hard. You've got to be able to think, okay, this is like, say, a bend. How am I going to come at this bend? Am I going to go on the outside and go on the in, or am I going to switch it up a bit? Or am I going to wait till last minute, pull the handbrake, hope for the best, just apply the power down? You've got to really think. It's more of a tactical sort of game. Mm-hmm. Well, fair enough, that's racing in general, but like, you've got to really think as you go. You can't go, okay, this can't do this. You can't you've basically got to go off your own initiative of how you're going to come out that corner. How are you going to be able to get those few seconds off that time? How are you going to be able to capitalise on, say, an issue? Or how are you going to be able to continue on, say, if your shockies have gone, or your gearbox, have you got what it takes to keep the car going?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of them.
The one thing I will say first is, for all the previews and stuff, that they never actually showed the damage model until we started playing it, and I've got to be honest, it was a shock to me at first to see that a damage model was in a WRC game. I'd never discovered it in Milestones before. To be brutally honest with you, if you hit a bump wrong, it damages the suspension, and I've longed for a game. Even Evolution back in the PS2 days couldn't do that. Obviously they were limited by hardware, but in retrospect, the damage system in this game, although at times I think it's a tad too sensitive, only a tad, I do think it's the perfect step in the right direction. You've mentioned career mode, Mike, as you know. For me, career mode I think is a little bit flat, if I'm honest. As someone who's played WRC throughout the years, the one thing that Milestone got right back in the first WRC that they did was the career mode was lengthy, bit too long in my opinion. But for all newcomers such as yourself and a lot of other people who are playing this game, it's perfect for them. For me, I want a little bit more meatier, a bit more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
like,
they are really trying to target it, not just for people who are rally enthusiasts, but new people as well. You look at the stage design. You know, some of the stages are a bit wider than I'd personally like them to be, but
like Finland is quite small.
Finland is way too wide for me, honestly. To me, it is. But I won't deny though that the stage design that they've done for these games is probably some of the best I've seen in rally games for years. Italy is an absolute joy to go around. Mexico's another one. Argentina in particular is so tight and narrow.
Wales is great.
And it sort of reflects the way that, for the first time, again, the first time they've done stage designs that actually represent stages. Maybe not Corsica, but all the other stages, I'm like, this is exactly how I imagine how it is on the telly when I watch it. It's like Monaco with the different mixed conditions and the snow and the night stages, and its stage design is spot on.
Like Poland and stuff.
It might not be a looker.
It jumps at you.
It might not be a looker. It might not be like Dirt Rally. It might not have the best graphics in the world, but the stage design is on point.
It's great. There's many people.
For people who, you know, for rally enthusiasts and rally hardcore gamers, it's probably not exactly for them. They could still play it and have fun with it like I am. I'd say I'm a rally sim fan, but I'm really enjoying the game and I like playing it. The designs of the cars, they work well. The sound, yes, where we're going to come to a problem in a minute when I get to it. But the stage designs, spot on. Stage graphics, okay, you've got problems like there are frame rate drops, and in some stages there's just a bit of instability there, which is kind of like it'll get fixed with updates and patches and stuff like that, sure, but it's sort of like it should be done. In terms of accessibility as well, there's problems for people who have wheels, because if you have an Xbox One, there's no wheels supported on the bloody game, which for the game in 2015 not to have any wheels supporting for Xbox One, it's kind of crap, really, to be honest.
The thing is, with most Xbox One fans, funny for driving courses, so they don't need a pad.
No, come on.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, like, for people who love rallying and love using wheels, and I'd have a wheel myself if I had the room, but, like, you know, it's the most popular wheels on Xbox that aren't even being supported, and it's sort of like,
what the hell?
You know, the same with PS4. I mean, PS4's got a lot of wheel support on it, and I know PC's getting patched a lot at the minute. They're updating the wheels, so no doubt patches will come in time, which is a good thing for people who, like I said, use a wheel. But for console users driving it with a pad controller, I've felt fine with it, to be honest. You know, natural understeer, natural oversteer. Probably need a touch more oversteer in the corners, I think. That's the one criticism I have of the physics itself. Driving a car is, you can be flat out, and then you come into a fourth gear left-hander, and I always do this on every WRC game. You come into a fourth gear left-hander and you do a Scandinavian flick. Now you can do it in this, but the tail doesn't come out as much as it should. Which, I'm being a little bit critical there, because Killerton have only had a year to develop this game, and what they've done is brilliant. To have only a year to have done what they've done. But
for the first go as
well. But the thing is like, they've had a year, and you can sort of tell in places, like the sounds. Exterior, the sound of the car is fine, apart from the gear changes when the exhaust spits. It sounds like a fart. It sounds like a fart when you change gear. That's just me in my head. But it goes, and that's how it's supposed to sound. It goes. The other thing is interior sounds. That's a big problem for me. It's a really weird high screeched pitch when your maximum revs around a hairpin. It's very strange, but again, I'm being critical, but I'm not going to take as many marks off it as I would as if it had been developed for 2 years, let's say. Obviously, if they'd had 2 years, it'd be a lot better. This will be a game, like I said, it's got its own esports, so it will keep getting developed. It won't be neglected.
Yeah.
So we've got that to look forward to for all the people who own the game. In regard to DLC that people have been mentioning, I don't know if they're going to do one. I wasn't even planning for a DLC. If they do, great. If they don't, well, I'm not bothered. Now, there's one last area I want to look at, and that's online. And
I love it. Like, I've never won so many races in the first week of games.
Yeah, it's so true, actually.
It's just like it's one of them. It's like us the other day. We had, what was it? There was the three of us.
A couple of other people. It was Britain versus France, wasn't it?
3 Brits, right? 4 French.
4 Frenchmen.
Yeah. And we fucking battered them.
Yeah.
And I get this, I only had third gear left.
I only had third gear at the end.
I kept going. Marty was the only one.
But like, in terms of online for me, it's sort, in a way I'm enjoying it, but it's a disappointment. And I'm going to refer back to Milestone here. In WRC 4, which came out 2 years ago, when they had an online system, 16 people, 16 cars on track. Yeah. The ghost cars are a little better implemented in the fact that if they were really close to you, you could only see a very faint outline. As they got further away from you, they got more solid.
Yeah.
Whereas these are just solid straight off, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is a bit distracting, to be honest.
Like Matty has mentioned that.
Because Matty can't drive with Matty can't drive with a distraction. But like.
Yeah, I noticed that when I played a clown horn the other day, and he started laughing.
But the other problem is that with WRC and with games, you're supposed to have options selecting your class, aren't you?
What do you mean class?
So like on Project Cars, for example, if you want to drive just Formula 3 cars, you drive just Formula 3 cars. In this, you can pick any car you like, which is not right. It should just be wherever the lobby leader picks. So let's say I pick WRC, everyone should be locked to WRC, or WRC2 should be locked to WRC.
Yeah, like Project Cars where it's open.
But it's not in this, it's completely unlocked. And that's a bloody pain in the arse. I'm not going to lie. And I sort of sat there and I thought, I keep looking back to WRC4 and thinking, if that online had been here, and it'd have been a lot better. And the other things are, if you look to WRC4, you could have, there was a system they had going on where you could run a championship, like a 10-round championship, and the rallies would come up highlighted, and you'd all vote for, let's say, one of your favourites, and then let's say Sweden got picked, and then that first rally would be like determined over one stage. So you'd go, which stage do you want? You go that one, and then everyone would do that stage, and then you'd get the points, and it would allocate points like on F1, similar to F1, where you could pick, you know what I'm getting here. And it was sort of like that, and it's not like that in this game, and I'm sort of sat there like,
why?
Not why. I can understand why, because again, they've only had a year and you can need focus on so many things. And it's sort of, and I'm treating WRC 5 a little bit like I'm treating F1 2015. It's sort of, it's a development year. If Killerton keep the license for next year, I guarantee they'll produce a belter of a game next year. Right now, though, they've got themselves a good foundation to work from, a really solid foundation to work from, much better than F1's foundation at the minute. Because that's just broken. This is not really broken, actually, I don't think I haven't had any glitches. Oh, the only glitch I've had, the only problem I've had is when I've looked for online lobbies and the game's freaking died on me.
Did you get that?
I get that, report, yeah. An error report. That's a bug. That'll be fixed. They said it'll be fixed. But in terms of giving this game a rating, I'm going to go to you first, Mikey, because I'm going to sort of gauge mine off what you give. I can imagine you being a bit higher than me.
To be fair, with it being my first WRC game, a bit...
Yeah, you're sort of in the unknown. Like F1. Mm. But what would you give it? You know, if you had to sit there, think about it and just go...
I enjoy it a lot more than F1.
Yeah. Obviously I do, because it's a rally game.
No, I've enjoyed the online. To be fair, I've won a few games online.
I just wish there were more people. I just wish it was a 16-player lobby. That's if it had been a 16-player lobbies, and it didn't even have if it was just 16 cars and then it just had the same menus and options and stuff, I wouldn't be bothered by that. I could live with that. I just wish it was 16.
It's one of them. It's a good game.
I love it. Good game. It's really
it's
fun.
Solid.
It's really fun to play.
How many times have I said, like, he wants to go on WRC? He wants to go on WRC?
Yeah. It's a really
usually,
good...
I'm the one that goes, oh, do you want to go like Minecraft or do you want to go on GTA?
It's a really good, fun, solid game to play.
It surprised even me. Like.
And to anyone who's probably sat there at home thinking, well, what about WRC 5? I mean, I've never played it before. I've never even played a rally game before. How am I supposed to get used to it? There's a rally school, which is actually really helpful for those who've never played it before. I completely...
I spent half an hour obviously doing the... It gets frustrating, but once you understand what it's telling you to do,
it's a
go
really
to this
good,
point, brake, then pull, then wait 2 seconds, let go, put power down, go. All this sort of... It explains it in very, very easy terms for you to understand.
Yeah. Which is good for people who...
are new to the series.
Who are new to the series, yeah. There are other areas that could be improved. Controller inputs. I really need my analog sticks. That's a desperation for me now.
I think that's the only reason I can keep up with you at the minute.
For my yeah. But what would you give it?
I'd give it you know what, for the time they've had to make the game.
For about a year that they've had. And it's an impressive job.
The detail of obviously the car and everything, in my opinion, I'd say a good 8.5. 8.6. Because I feel it's a solid game. It's good. Great, everything. But like you said, there's the odd thing that needs to be changed. You know, to make it more, you know, for it to jump out at you. It does jump out for me.
It does for me,
but only for a while. It's not like certain games where, like, that's the thing with me, as you know. I can't sit there and play a single game for too long, because if I play that game for too long, I get bored of it, and I won't go back on that game for, say, months on end. So,
I mean, if I were going to give it a rating, I'm in the 8 range. I'm probably going to go with an 8.2, but an enthusiastic 8.2, literally, because it is really fun, and
it's one of them.
I think what they've got here is a really solid, absolute, brilliant base for them to work from. Maybe it's not the best graphical thing in the world, but I'm not too fussed about graphics here. We all aren't. The three of us aren't too fussed about graphics. We'll give praise where it's needed and don't give praise if necessary. We're not going to moan about textures and anything like that. So, you know, fair play to Killerton.
Yeah, but, guys.
Solid review for WRC 5.
Yeah.
We got one more review to do. Can anyone guess what it is?
You know What?
Just gonna do that one more time. There we go. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, where have you been living for the last 20 years? Ladies and gentlemen, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I'm Solid Snake.
And I'm Martin Slot.
Voiced for the first time in the series by Kiefer Sutherland rather than David Hayter. It makes sense, actually, but I'll get to that later.
I know why.
No. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
If it is a spot... You don't know the ending, do you?
no.
Oh, sorry then. I was going to say if it's a spoiler.
I've done chapter 1.
But why? Okay, go on. I want to hear, before we get into this review, Mikey's reasoning behind Kiefer Sutherland being in Metal Gear Solid 5 rather than David Hayter.
Because isn't the earlier one set after? It's not all in chronological order. It's
Metal
all
Gear Solid 3, which was the same
Peace
Snake
Walker.
that we're using. No, Metal Gear Solid 3 is Snake Eater.
Snake Eater is
Snake Eater is also voiced by David Hayter.
Ah.
So Mikey's theory of evolution has just gone out the window. But
Great.
in terms of Metal Gear Solid, set in 1984, you can tell because of the futuristic stuff that they got in. Kojima! But in all fairness, Metal Gear Solid 5, it follows on 9 years after the events of Ground Zeroes, which for anyone who doesn't know what happened in Ground Zeroes, basically the original mother base got absolutely annihilated by the XOF unit, which is from the main enemy in the game, Skullface. And after 9 years of being in a coma, Solid Snake awakes and he wakes up from his coma and he tries to create a new Diamond Dogs and to set up basically a massive battle, if you can get there, with Skullface himself. Now, again, funnily enough, we find ourselves in a similar situation to WRC5. Mikey never owned a Metal Gear Solid game before in his life, whereas I've owned all of them.
I think you were surprised, to be fair, when I said do us a favour, get up Metal Gear Solid for me.
A little bit, yeah, because you've not really been interested in them beforehand. But I can already tell you straight away, people, that he has now become a little Diamond Dogs fanboy and walks around with an eye patch at home.
With 10 little large ones on the phone now.
Like all those people who love Fallout with a Pit Boy.
So I'm walking around with a cardboard box painted with a bit of blue thing.
Well, no, walking around underneath a cardboard box.
Mike, what are you doing?
No one sees me. I'm Solid Snake.
Just like a few lines on it, a little dragon. You can't see me, mum.
No girls allowed. This is the first Metal Gear that's ever been an open world as such. I just want to talk about the massive amount of customization that you can do in this game.
It's so good.
The amount of customization in this game is unreal. I mean, I've played Metal Gear for years and I've never known Metal Gear to be like this. It's so different to Metal Gear, like the original 4, well 7, 8, 9 technically, but it's at the same time very similar because it sort of still keeps that charm and love of Metal Gear Solid and of old, like the stealth missions and obviously the alert sound is still there. And I mean, customization though, you can customize D-Dog, D-Horse, Quiet, D-Walker, and you can have Gatling guns, sniper. God, I can't go into detail because then I'll be going
the Gatling gun?
D-Walker.
I fucking did it. I was thinking.
D-Walker gets a. If you're wondering what those all are, D-Horse is a horse, D-Dog is a wolf, Quiet is a woman, and D-Walker is Walker.
It's in the name.
Yeah, but
it's quite cute how you come across D-Dog though. It is so cute.
I've got to be honest, like if you're looking for story here, most of the story is in the cassette tapes. So the supporting cast obviously of Kazahide and Miller and Ocelot and Huey, Dr. Emmerich. Some of these names that I'm mentioning to people who've played Metal Gear Solid will know exactly what I'm on about. But you look at all of them and you think, wow, some of these some of the support cast is brilliant. You know, the acting is spot on, the facial animations and movements are spot on. The guards, as ever in Metal Gear Solid, are slightly dumb, which we always like. I mean, I always remember playing Metal Gear Solid 1 and used to be hiding behind a bin, and then someone would go, because it was set in the snow, he'd go, "Whose are these footprints?" And in Metal Gear Solid 5, you jump down from 5 foot right behind someone and they go, "Huh?
What was that?"
You know, it's
well, like when you sit there and you hear them talk, because I'm in Africa,
mm-hmm.
and he turns around and goes, "Hey, have you heard about the return of the Big Boss?" "What? The Big Boss is back?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you hear? He was in Cyprus. It's just like so cool how
the cast is brilliant in it. Kiefer Sutherland doesn't have that much to do until the end. I'm not going to ruin it, but I'll get to it later.
No,
I'm not ruining it for anyone. I'm not telling anyone. I'm not. You know me.
Favourite
I'm not a spoiler.
So far,
I don't want to say favourite buddy. I'm doing a review. And we've got. There are 2 locations in the whole game: Afghan and Africa, and they're both beautifully detailed. And there are loads of more characters that you meet out there in Africa as well.
Good donkey. A good donkey, well.
And the range of weapons, the range of
weather
I
love that.
The range of weapons that you can use and gadgets, which Metal Gear has always been about, but the range of weapons is insane. You know, not only can you customise your car, you can have tanks,
shotguns,
jeeps,
pistols.
Why are you just stating? I'm not even talking about weaponry here now.
You can customise your helicopter, for God's sake.
Yeah, you can have helicopter music, which is just the most awesome addition to a game for a while that he's ever had.
I've got True by Spandu Ballet. So yeah, it's just like
ha 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 ha.
That's all you hear. Holy.
And all you hear on my end is "With a rebel yell."
Yeah, what's funny though is like it's just like I'm sitting there like in intense battle, like trying to all you hear is holy. And it's like, this is peak 1.
This is peak 1. Arriving on Elsie. Ha. But like, it is
so funny.
I mean,
Sorry.
Where can you go? I mean, you can customise Mother Base for crying out loud, make it bigger.
You can get loads of like cardboard boxes, and the fact you can walk around behind a guard with a cardboard box, and he looks at you, and then when you think he knows, you can open the box to like a poster, so you could have like a soldier and obviously he's saluting back, or you could have like a glamour model and he drops his gun as well. Oh, and then he's like, yeah, surprise, motherfucker. It's like, oh shit.
I've completed the game, people, and
I'm on 40% game completion.
Wow, you got a long way to go. But
I'm on chapter
episode
33. It's so
50 missions in this game, people, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit, because the boss battles that Metal Gear Solid is famous for, some of the most incredible boss battles in history. Everyone remembers Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear 1. Everyone remembers Liquid from MGS4. I can go on.
MGS4 was Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots, yeah. And you look at all these, and then you come to this, and you think, so surely there's going to be millions of boss battles. There aren't millions. I could effectively say 2, probably, boss battles that are of immense proportion. Have you finished Metallic Arcade?
That was fucking hard.
Yeah, there's one even worse.
I know, the one after it.
But wait, which one is the one after it?
When you go back to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You go to XKZ0.
XKB0.
Yeah.
And you take like a car journey down to the power station.
Yeah.
And Philanthropus.
No, that's not even the... And you're running away from it?
I've destroyed it.
Is the mission called Sahelanthropus? Oh, you have done it then. Yeah, but, like, those two really are probably the hardest missions until you go onto extreme version, which is like drowning in your own piss.
I can't... There's one, it's like C2W, you know, when you've got to do the Russian outpost.
Yeah.
But it's like stealth only. You
Nice.
do not realise how hard it is until you don't have the...
Now you see...
Boom, boom.
Now you see, for me, that's proper Metal Gear. but
like, it's like you've got to destroy the antenna, the radios, and it's just like, how the fuck do you destroy the radios with no C4, no grenades?
the thing is, like, as I was saying, this game is expanse. I mean, I've resigned myself to the fact that I'll never get a platinum trophy on this bloody game because of all the stuff that you've got to do. I mean, just incredibly vast amount of things that you can do in it. The side up missions, there's 150 of them.
I think I've done about 30 of them.
I've done a lot, and it's still I'm sort of looking at them going, I still got to do more. But at the same time, the benefits come with them, like the upgrades that you can get for doing the missions and stuff like that. Honestly though, when you play the game, it's fun, it's brilliant, it's traditional Metal Gear to me. Admittedly, the open world is still, I'm still getting used to, but it does feel like playing a Metal Gear Solid game. And the amount of praise that I can give it is unparamount. But there's a problem. And without ruining it for everyone, telling them what the story is, I'm going to say this about the ending. It's traditional Kojima. Answering some questions, but not all of them. And then proposing more questions that need to be answered, which sort of makes everyone go, that basically needs to mean a Metal Gear Solid 6. Which Konami have already said they're making anyway, so it's sort of like, yay.
Well, Metal Gear 5, the second Phantom Pain.
The
Phantom Pain.
I know for a fact that you haven't
2.
finished yet, but the game yet. But I've got like. Now you look at the 50 missions and you get to the end of them all and you're like, yeah, I've done them. I'm the real Snake. And you're sort of like,
Unpunished Venom Snake.
And there's...
I'm Big Boss.
I'm Big Boss, yeah. I'm not going to explain the ending because, like I said, he hasn't finished it and there are probably people still playing it now. It took me 2 weeks to finish the damn game. Mission-wise.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. It's took me...
about the same amount of time, and you actually know it took you more time. I had it on...
To be fair, Mil, I've actually...
I don't blame you. I'm not even going to say you need to do it quick because you can't.
No,
Anyone who speed runs this in less than a day is an absolute god.
You couldn't do it.
He could. I could do it.
Because to get half the stuff, you've got to wait half an hour.
Well, you use a Phantom Cigar and you speed up time.
In the game?
Yeah, you can use a Phantom Cigar. But
I always thought...
See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean by it being massively vast. You can't understand. Who gets to understand how big this game is if he's been playing it for 2.5 weeks and didn't even know there was a Phantom Cigar in it.
Yeah, I know there's the cigar, but when you've got you damn... Yeah, obviously, if you purchase like an upgrade, it says you've got to wait so long.
No, that's just normal in-game time. As in... if you're playing it you have to wait half an hour for it to be developed. You have to wait half an hour for it to be developed.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
There's times in the game where it's like, because I know I've had a few where it's 18 minutes, then you go to 36 minutes. Like the mother base ones, it's like
about an hour.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Like.
But the problem I have with the ending is not so much the ending; it's what could have been the actual ending. Now I can say this because it got cut from the game. And it doesn't ruin the ending of the story because it's not related to the game.
Yeah.
What happens is you travel to an island and you face off against an unnamed character in another battle against Sahelanthropus. and a bigger, better version of Sahelanthropus, I must say. And basically, this character that you're up against is actually in the game, and it's quite a prominent figure in the game. And you can tell it got cut because only 40% of it is done, so like the facial animations haven't been done, but all the movements and everything's done. And you have one of, and it's been described as saying, one of the best boss battles ever. And eventually you get to this climactic part where XOF forces come flying in and they want to kill the unnamed character in Sahelanthropus who's climbed out of it. And they throw this sort of, it's a gas of sorts, and it sort of blinds Snake in a sense, and it turns everything white and grey sort of thing, and you can only see the enemies that are in white. Everyone's white, so you can just like, you can't see faces or anything, just white figures. And because he can still see, he just turns around and starts shooting them and supposedly kills the unnamed character. And then obviously in turn Snake leaves. At first you think he'd killed him, and then this person, and then this unnamed person rises again, and Snake just leaves this person with a gun and then walks off because the island's about to get practically nuked. And then that's how the game ends, originally how it was supposed to end, which would have been a phenomenal ending, because it confirms what anyone who's played Metal Gear Solid before about who that character actually is in the future. But I'm not going to say, because one, you'd know, but you'd get confused, and two, I got it right because I kind of knew from the start. It just seemed too obvious. And also, I will say one thing about the proper ending that's actually in the game in Mission 50. You get to hear the return of an old voice from Metal Gear Solid 3 without giving it too much away, but it's nice to hear that voice again because it's just been a while. Got a sort of respect for that person that hasn't been there for a while. But if I were to give this game a rating, I would firstly go to Mike while I eat his chocolate.
Oh, what's after it?
Yeah. What would you give it as a rating? Think about like the strengths of the game.
It's just fun. I can see it's more of a comedy than taking it seriously.
At times, yeah. Metal Gear doesn't take it too seriously all the time.
I'm sorry, you'd sort of notice it now. I'm going.
Unless you're in a sneaking suit, in which case only you can hear it.
Okay.
But what would you give the rating there, young Michael?
I literally everything you've just explained, and it's just so fun to play. You can use your buddies to assist you in your levels, and blow shit up and drive tanks. It's a Kojima Battlefield basically, third person Battlefield. So I'd probably just give it a good 9.5. For literally from my first time playing the game, I've loved it. You've got to think tactically. You can't just spray. Like you play COD and stuff, and like they've got a suppressor, so like, you can literally use like all the ammo and it's still working. Whereas Metal Gear,
The suppressor breaks, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's just I just love D-Dog. He's so cool, so cute as well as a puppy.
What is wrong with you, man?
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, for God's sake, they're like being with a woman.
He gets like a little eye patch. It's like, oh.
Because he's got no eye.
Hasn't he?
No.
He had 2 eyes when I picked him up.
No, he didn't. He's got one eye and like a battered eye, which doesn't work.
Huh.
D-Dog is bloody awesome though.
He is.
Honestly, people.
I taught my horse how to shit. You see the video? It's like, airdrop successful. He goes, do it. He goes, airdrop successful.
For me, for my score, I was this close to giving it a 10. I mean, I was so close to saying, you know what, take the 10, have it, do what you want with it, and come back again next time. And I just can't, because it's just...
So I'm going to give it an 11.5.
It's just the ending of what could have been, as opposed to what it is. It's just sort of like...
But like you said, don't forget, it's Kojima.
I know.
So you've got to...
And it should have been that ending, and it didn't...
When I finished the chapter, I thought that was the end of the game, so I was going to really phone you up and go apeshit. But then when I was going to say something, no, I'll wait, just in case. And then it called with chapter 2.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank God for that. Because it was like, you've got to get to like level 50 for certain, right? I'm like, I'm not fucking...
Honestly, I mean, I was this close to giving it a 10, and it's just... It's not a... It's a Kojima ending. It's definitely a Kojima ending, but it's sort of like... I wish the original ending had just been that. Because it'd have been better. And it's... Oh, I hate saying this. And I never wanted to give a game this score because it just feels bad. But I have to give it a 9.9. It just that ending just sort of... it just makes me sit there and think, if it had been the original ending and it had gone with Mission 51, that 10.
Ding, ding, ding!
S-Team Copper Award, Metal Gear Solid. That is what it's about.
Better than sex.
We're going to have Copper Awards for games of the 10 now. That's what we're going to have.
Copper Awards?
Copper Award, yeah, because we're not gold. The closest thing we're ever going to get to gold is freaking gold bed sheets. Made out of satin.
Yeah.
But that is our review for Metal Gear Solid 5. It's also our podcast for this week. So, I haven't done this for a while. If you want to follow Mikey on Twitter, even though he doesn't use it, you can follow him.
I actually do.
You can follow him at
Mikey Keating XD. If you'd like to follow my good chap here on Twitter, it is...
Who's your good chap?
You.
Oh.
Mr. Millington on Twitter, it's
JackTM53.
If you'd like to follow our good friend Mr. McLachlan.
You really struggled then, didn't you?
Yeah. It's Moggy...
Lewis_Moggy. If you want to follow Matty, preferably in a street in Greasby.
Preferably in the Tesco.
We're also on Facebook. You
Yes,
can like us. We're sort of... Yeah, we'll update it.
I'm the adorable bastard with the pint in his hand, like.
Yep. I'm the suave one in the middle. Matty's the gay one at the end.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week's podcast. It's a young goodbye from Michael.
Good day, and it's a good day for my friend Mr. Millington.
See ya, and we've been the S-Team.